Hey everybody, I'm Dan McClellan. I'm a scholar of the Bible and religion. Let's take a look at a video.
We are living in the last days on this earth.
No, we're not.
Whether you want to believe that or not, everything that we are watching happen in our world right now are the exact things that God told us to look out for in anticipation of his return.
No, they're not. They're just things that are common to the human experience that have been interpreted for literally thousands of years as signs of the last days, and they never have been, because the book of Revelation is not a prediction about the future. It's just making use of those same events that are common to humanity as symbols for the Roman Empire.
We are living out the exact events that God warned us about.
No, we're not.
So let's talk about what's next, the rapture.
The rapture is not next. The rapture is just a theological innovation of the early 19th century based on John Nelson Darby's misunderstanding of the imagery in 1 Thessalonians 4:17 and a misguided attempt to try to triangulate that with other apocalyptic imagery to try to predict the future. None of it has anything to do with what the authors of the biblical texts intended, and most Christians around the world outgrew the notion of the rapture long ago. But because of its rhetorical utility to evangelical Christianity, particularly in America, which has a lot of growing up to do, there are still a lot of evangelical Christians who think the rapture means something.
So let's lay a little bit of a visual foundation. So we are right here living out the last days, watching everything be set up, watching biblical prophecy unfold. The next thing that happens is the rapture, and I will explain the meaning behind the rapture and why it has to happen before the 7 years of tribulation.
So the rest of this video is a rather naive attempt to try to defend the notion that the Bible clearly presents a pre-trib rapture. But because the Bible does not present any kind of rapture, because the entire concept of the rapture is an early 19th century invention, this is just rearranging deck chairs on the Titanic. But it's part of a larger project of trying to use the Bible as a kind of magic 8-ball or Ouija board that can help us divine our own future if we just know how to put the puzzle pieces together correctly. And the Bible is none of that, because the Bible is ancient literature. The book of Revelation was written to late 1st century CE followers of Jesus, exhorting them to fidelity in the face of persecution on the part of the Roman Empire. The book of Daniel is mid-2nd century BCE apocalyptic literature written to Judeans in order to exhort them to remain faithful in the face of persecution at the hands of the Seleucid Empire. None of these texts have anything to do with 2,000 years into the future, much less with our own future. Attempts to turn it into that are just attempts to leverage the Bible as a tool to serve the structuring of power, of values, and of boundaries in the service of primarily right-wing authoritarian identity politics, and in the case of this video, also a naive brand of Christian nationalism. And the fit for this video might well be a solution to this problem. LeVar Burton says, read banned books.